everybody, it's Danielle Thompson, and welcome to Lewisburg Word of Faith. If it's your first Sunday with us, or maybe you've been coming for a few weeks, we would love to know more about you and your family. Just fill out a Tell Us About You card in the seat backs in front of you. And whenever you're ready, just take it to Guest Central. We have some information about our church and a gift for you. If you've been coming to our church for a while and you're looking for ways to get plugged in, fill out a You Serve card in the seat backs in front of you. Also, take that to Guest Central, and we'll be in contact with you in the next couple weeks. Thank you, and have a great Sunday.
Hey guys, it's Tara Weldy. Wanted to let you know that Wednesday, March 19th, we'll be having a pizza party to celebrate the end of our financial classes. Keith and Justin are making homemade pizza that I hear is pretty famous, so you won't want to miss it. Bring a dessert to share, as well as some drinks. Hope to see you there.
Good morning, Lewisburg Word of Faith. I'm here to tell you about something very exciting. At the end of March, we're having something we call Launch Weekend. We're going to start it off with a night of prayer for the whole family. Your children are invited to come. It's from 7 to 8 p.m. at Lewisburg Word of Faith Church. We're going to be praying for all the things God has coming for us in 2014. The next night, on March 29th, from 5:30 to 8:30 p.m., we're taking over the YMCA in Eaton. Come check it out. We're going to have pizza. The pool's going to be open, the gym's going to be open, game room. It's a great time for fellowship, but also a great time to catch the vision of what God's going to be doing in a second church at Eaton. And finally, we're going to have our Launch Weekend Sunday morning service, where Pastor Justin is going to be sharing the vision of how this second church in Eaton is going to look, how it's coming together, and how you can be involved. So mark your calendars. We are excited to see you there.
I have worked as an air traffic controller at one of the world's busiest airports. And in the lunchroom one day, there was a group of veteran controllers sitting at another table who were pretty crude. And then one of them said he grew up in a Christian home where his parents forced him to go to church and he hated it and never wanted to go back. And he mentioned the name of the church. And when he did, it was like a dagger in my heart to think, that's the kind of church I go to. Because of that name being there, it caused me to really feel a lot of pain. But I didn't say anything. I waited until everybody left the room except he and I. And as we were washing our dishes at the sink, I said, Dennis, I didn't know that you went to church. And he turned to me and shook his fist in my face and said, don't you ever talk to me about God, religion, or anything like that. I have to work with you. So I didn't. But I tried to offer him the same dignity and respect that I would offer anybody. I really did a lot of self-questioning, I guess. You know, am I going about this wrong? For what reason would someone respond that way when it was a rather innocent question? As I thought through the process, I went everything from I'm discouraged and don't want to offer up those kind of questions, but it also caused me to go back and take a look at why would he respond that way? I did ask some of my brothers to help me pray for this guy. I'm kind of out of options. I don't know what it's going to take. About 8 years later, I was working at a radar scope one day, and he walked up and then asked me, what time does church start on Sunday? And I told him, and Dennis showed up. He brought his wife. After a few times of attending and going to lunch with my wife and I, he came to me and he said, Sandy, I know the way that I've been living has been wrong, and I need to correct that. But my wife has never heard about Jesus Christ or any story from the Bible. Would you study with her? And my wife Cindy and I sat down and we studied with Dennis and Sharon, and she became a Christian after that study, and I was so happy. And a few years later, I was working in Seattle, Washington, and he called me and he said, Sandy, I'm selling everything that I have, and Sharon and I are going to go off to a Bible training school, and then we're going to Cambodia to be missionaries. And I was just shocked at that transformation. I said, Dennis, you've come a long way from shaking your fist in my face. And that transformation has been priceless to watch the change in that individual. I know Dennis had to hear me telling stories about mission trips. I use those as talking points to get conversations started with people. And then you end up with the follow-up questions where people will say, why did you take your vacation time and go do that? And it gives you an opportunity to talk about what Christ means to you. I've often thought of myself as being a missionary, but a vocational missionary, kind of like Paul made tents. And so I think about myself at the workplace as being God's representative there. When I get discouraged at work and I think that maybe nobody's watching, nobody's paying attention, maybe my witness is not effective, rather than thinking about moving on, I just need to think about living a Christ-like life because somebody's watching me all the time.